My name is Alison Tigges, and I am a yoga instructor. I've been teaching yoga for almost 12 years, and I've been practicing yoga since I was in high school, so it's been a while, almost 20 years. I own a yoga studio here in Omaha, One Tree Yoga, and we have two locations. One is on 50th and Dodge in Dundee, and our other location is out in West Omaha on 144th and Center. So my friend Claire asked me to be a part of this day and just sort of offer a general yoga class. Given everything going on now with COVID-19, my studio's been closed since the middle of March, and so we're doing a couple different things. We are offering online live Zoom classes for anybody to, if they have a membership, they can of course drop in that way or pay a drop-in fee, a reduced drop-in fee. So we have a couple of those going each day with different instructors. And then we also have a YouTube channel. If you search my studio, One Tree Yoga, you'll find our YouTube channel where you have a bunch of free videos. We try to upload one or two every week, sometimes more, and we've kind of got tons of different options to choose from. So our goal is to make it accessible, and you know, we need yoga more than ever. Those of you that have never done it, go Google it. There's a bazillion benefits. Physical, of course, it will make you more flexible, more comfortable, more mobile. Also stronger. So yoga is really about building strength, flexibility in your body. But for me, the reason why this became my career is the benefits that I saw it give my own life in big ways, more than just physical. So really helping us to like slow down and not be so busy and stressed, and to take some time to breathe and to really tune in and like notice how we feel. And I think now more than ever, with times being as stressful as they are, with this virus and quarantine and being more isolated, I think it's all the more helpful to just practice being a little bit quieter, or slowing down, or even learning to breathe and sit with some discomfort. We have to do that in yoga all the time. We get into a challenging yoga pose, you gotta just like deal with it. So it teaches us, I think, a lot of good lessons in life. And so that's sort of what I want to offer you guys today. This is gonna be for all levels. So if you've never done yoga before, we will make this accessible. You don't need anything. If you are on hard floor, a yoga mat or something might be nice, so you don't, so it's a little cushier, but you can do this on carpet. And the only thing I'll say, maybe grab, if you have, most of you probably don't have a yoga strap, but go in your closet, grab a belt, or even a really long tube sock or something. That will probably help. Otherwise, you don't really need anything but a wall. And we're just gonna be pretty baseline today. My goal is just to get into some tight places in the body, move around a little bit, and hopefully feel better at the end than when you started. So I also, just so people know, I purposefully don't play music when I teach yoga, not because I have anything against music. I love music, but for me, if yoga is about tuning in, slowing down, then that's just like one less distraction. So it really helps listen to your breath, my instructions, and your kind of inner voice if you don't have the distraction of music. So it's probably like, think of it as, the next 30, 45 minutes where you can have a little bit of quiet time. It's hard to find quiet time, I understand. So go ahead and lay down on the floor or on your mat, grab your belt or long tube sock of sorts. I'm grabbing mine. And just have that nearby when you lie down. And you don't have to do anything special when you lie down, but just be comfortable. So knees can be bent or straight. And just rest your hands on the belly. Close your eyes. And begin by taking just a few deep breaths. We, of course, breathe all the time, right? I hope so, otherwise we have bigger problems on our hands. So we're always breathing without even thinking about it. And so yoga really kind of asks us to notice. Like, notice your breath. Take big breaths and notice what that feels like to breathe in deeply and out deeply. Feel the belly as you breathe rise and fall. Feel the back of your lungs as you breathe. Press into the mat or the floor and then soften away from the mat or the floor. And just try to be soft. So because we sort of, I think, tend to live with this kind of underlying level of stress, and maybe even more so now, your body carries tension. You know, people clench their jaws all the time. We grind our teeth, we tighten our necks, and so see here what you can do to try to just like soften your body a little bit, unclench your jaw, soften your face, relax your neck, and continue to take deep breaths from there. Just take a few more breaths here, and we'll of course continue to breathe deeply like this as we do our yoga practice today. If your eyes are closed, slowly blink the eyes open and bend your knees if they're not already bent. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh. So I just want to open up the hips a little bit. Many of us sit a lot during the day. And then pick your feet up and thread your right arm between both legs and interlace your hands around the left shin. Now, if this isn't possible, hold on to your left thigh somewhere, or your pants, kind of grip onto your pants. But if you can interlace your hands around the left leg, great. And then you'll get more stretch by pulling. See how my legs are coming closer to my chest? That obviously intensifies what I feel in my right hip. So if that's too much, then just relax a little, don't pull so much. If you want to feel more, then pull more. So because we sit and, you know, whether it's a desk, at work, in the car, on the couch, our hips are tight. Like, welcome to everybody in the world. And so we're just here to open them. I don't care what your pose looks like. And to be honest, I'm not that interested in turning anybody into a pretzel. Like, who cares if you're flexible or not? Like, this is how we become more flexible. So we just have to stretch our bodies and move our bodies. So take a few more breaths here. Continue with that deep breath that we established at the beginning. And then release your hands and just switch. So left ankle over right thigh, pick your feet up, thread your left arm between your legs, interlace your hands, and same thing, pull. You might notice one side feels tighter. That's pretty normal. And you might notice on the screen I'm rocking a little bit side to side. I'm just sort of exploring. It feels good. And I tip a little to the left or the right. If you like that, great, do it. If you don't, stay still. And pull as much or as little as you want on the legs. And so this might be uncomfortable for some of you. It might be like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. And so yoga teaches us to not run away from that. It's like you're not going to die doing this. It's just you have a tight hip. So instead of bailing, yoga teaches us to like, can you deal with it, right? Can you sit with this and take some deep breaths, stretch your hip, because it's only going to get tighter unless we do something about it. And that's, too much tightness in the body is when things start to go south. Last breath or two. Good. Release your hands, release your feet, pause, and just notice. Already, it's super subtle. We didn't do anything too crazy, but you might notice a difference. Now I want you to grab your belt or your sock or your strap or whatever you have and hook it around your right foot and straighten your right leg. So this is why you want this. Now I can hold on to my foot, but I've been doing this a while. If you can, that's great, but most people need a little something so that they can straighten the right leg and still hold on. So firm up your right leg. You'll feel a big stretch in the back of your right leg. And if you can, try to spread your toes. So this is why sock free is a good idea. You won't slip on the floor and you can spread your toes. Press your heel up and try to peel your toes down. That'll really stretch the back of the leg. And then just relax your shoulders. Keep this right leg really, really straight and breathe deeply. Again, our hamstrings get tight from sitting as well. So in the same way our hips are tight, hips are connected to the hamstrings, hamstrings are on the back of the leg, those get tight too. That's why most people can't touch their toes, right? We have tight hamstrings. So hold the belt or the strap in your right hand. I'm going to scoot over a little bit so I have room because I'm right by a wall. But then you're going to take your right leg and just open it to the right. So you get some stretch on the inner leg. But notice how my left knee is still pointing straight up. My right leg is still really, really straight. Breathe here. So you'll get a big stretch in the inner thigh, which, you guessed it, they're also tight. We're kind of tight everywhere. Just from life, from things we do, sitting, and even, if you're active, physically active, running, biking, walking, lifting weights, sports, they make the body tight and the muscles tight as well. So just take a couple more breaths here. Good, and then bring your right leg up. One more thing on this side, switch hands. Let's scoot back where I was. And then this time you'll take your right leg and cross it a little to the left. So just past the midline. I don't have to go very far until I start to feel a pretty big stretch in my outer leg, outer hip. Again, make your right leg really straight. The more straight you can make the right leg, the better stretch you'll get. It'll be more intense, but better in the long run. And if it's impossible for you to straighten your leg, then don't. Do your best. That's ultimately all you can do. Take some deep breaths here, and as a general rule in yoga, don't force your body to do something that it can't actually do, right? It's no purpose there. Do your best and accept what's happening. Good, and then bring your right leg up, take that belt off, put your right foot down and pause. Already I notice a big difference right leg versus left leg. So that's pretty common. And of course we'll do the other side. So left leg up in the air, hook the strap, the belt, the sock around your left leg, and extend your left leg up. Now work hard to make left leg super straight and strong. Press your left heel up and watch my toes. See how I peel the toes down? Looks like I'm not going very far, but I'm trying really hard here. It's pretty intense stretch for the calves and the hamstrings. So just take some deep breaths in the back of the left leg here. One more breath, big deep breath. And then hold the strap in your left hand and open your left leg to the left. See how I can just kind of rest my elbow on the floor? So you might have to slide your hand down the belt a little bit. That's fine. And then make your left leg really straight again. Press out through your heel and feel a big stretch in the inner left thigh. Just take a few breaths. So the good news is we won't be in any one shape forever. be uncomfortable, might be intense, might not be your favorite. Breathe anyway. And then slowly come up. Last but not least, switch hands, right hand holds on, and then just cross left leg a little bit to the right. Feel stretch in the outer left hip and outer left leg. And then the good news is, the more that you do this stuff, the less horrible it is. Your body starts to get used to it, it starts to open, it starts to be less painful, less intense. Also, like, you start to almost like it. It feels good to stretch when you feel tight. So it's like anything new. You just don't stop doing it, right? Like running's hard, you don't just stop. You do it till it feels less hard. Take another big breath. All right, bring your leg up. You can lose your belt, sock, whatever you got. And just pause. So we're gonna come off the back now. So you can draw your knees into your chest and come all the way up to sit. And then we'll come to child's pose. So face the long edge of your mat, if you've got a mat. Sorry to fix my hair, a little messy on my back. And then bring your knees as wide as your mat. Let's see how my toes are together. Keep your hips on your heels, and then you can start to walk your hands forward, and maybe you can touch your forehead to the floor. And maybe your hips stay on your heels. Now, your hips might end up here. That's okay. But try to get your head to the floor. And then secondary is get your hips to your heels. And then walk your hands away. Really firm up your arms. And then you can soften your elbows down and just breathe. So we're stretching the hips. You get a nice stretch in the low back here. Breathe deeply. Another breath. Good. And then come up to your hands and your knees. Tuck these toes under. Walk your hands back, and then you'll just straighten your legs and fold forward. Now, some of you are going to be like here with like straight. So if that's the case, bend your knees until you can get your hands or your fingertips down. It's cool to have bent knees, you'll still get a stretch. And then relax your head and straighten your legs any amount. Some of you will easily straighten your legs, others of you won't, and it's cool. Breathe. Put your hands on your hips and come all the way up to standing. Once you get upright, just pause. We made it standing, awesome. And come stand with your feet together. So let's do some standing stretching poses. So put your hands on your hips and take a really wide stance. Now, when people are new to yoga and I tell them to take a wide stance, I usually get something like this. So I mean for real wide. Stretch your arms out to the side and your wrists should be in line with your heels wide. So that's how wide I want. Firm your legs, straight arms. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Release your hands to the floor and start to walk your hands back as you fold. Try to keep your legs straight. Some of you might end up on your fingertips and not go very far, but others of you might go further. Everyone bend your knees a little bit. Lean forward. Keep forward. Firm your legs. Slowly re-straighten your legs. So big hamstring stretch, big inner thigh stretch. Breathe. You gotta firm your legs more. That's how you don't slide around. Soften knees. Walk your hands forward. Heel toe your feet in. And come up slowly. Yeah. Stand. Feet together. Pause. So let's do another wide pose. So hands to hips. Step wide again, so now you know go wide. This time turn your right toes to the right and your left toes in. And then bend your right knee and into a square. So see how my right knee is on top of the heel? That's how low I want you to get, which is why you need to take a long stance. And then stretch your arms out. This is warrior two. So this is like really sweet warrior pose. You're kind of, badass. So firm your arms and legs and gaze over your right fingertips. Back leg is super straight, front leg is super low. One more big breath. Hands to hips. Straighten your right leg, switch sides. So turn your right toes in, turn your left toes to the left. Bend your left knee, get your thigh low, warrior two, side two. Arms out, look over left hand. So your arms and your back leg is like squeeze those babies, make them straight, and sit lower in your left thigh if you can. Straighten your left leg, hands to hips, turn your toes around, step your feet together and pause. Well done. I mean, I can't technically see you, but I promise, you're doing great. One more like this, so bend your knees, take a wide stance. And just like before, turn your right toes to the right, turn your left toes in. This time, both legs stay straight, so pull your kneecaps up. Remember, firm your thighs. And then hands to hips, you're gonna lean to the right. And you really wanna lengthen these sideways. Put your right hand on your shin somewhere and stretch your left arm up. This is triangle pose, it's my favorite pose. Roll your left ribs back. You can look up or look straight ahead. Pull your kneecaps up. Squeeze your thighs. Make your legs really straight. Pull your belly button back. Breathe. Good. Come up slowly. Switch. Right toes in, left toes out. Remember, both legs straight. Firm your legs. Lean way to the left. Put your hand on your shin. Stretch your right arm up. Triangle pose. Pull your kneecaps up. Firm your thighs. Roll your chest up towards the ceiling. Either look up or straight ahead. Whatever feels better on your neck. Pull your belly back. Breathe. Well done. One more breath. Good. All right. Come on up. Turn your toes straight ahead. Step feet together. Again, rest. This is called mountain pose. So you just stand up straight and breathe. Awesome. So find a wall. Here's mine. And you're going to put your hands on the wall about hip height. So I find my hip bones here. That's about where my hands are going to go, but I want you to spread your fingers really wide on the wall, and then just step back until your heels are under your hips. So you make like a 90-degree angle. So watch, I'm going to drop my head in line with my arms. In my upper body, it's sort of like I make an L shape or 90 degrees. Yeah. And then like you're trying to push the wall away from you. Push the wall away, straighten your arms. Lift your belly. Bend your knees, stick your butt up in the air. See how my low back is arched now? Pull your belly back more, and then slowly straighten your legs. And breathe. Remember, push the wall away, firm your thighs. So your arms and legs are super duper straight, and you try to pull your belly up so your belly, your core is engaged. Last big breath. Soften your knees. Slowly come up to stand. Find your mountain pose and pause. Great, so we're going to take that shape and do it on the floor. So some of you have probably heard this pretty popular yoga pose called downward facing dog. So weight goes in your hands and your feet. It's gonna feel a lot like we just did at the wall, only it's a little bit harder when you're on the floor. So come to your hands and knees. So my shoulders are over my wrists. And then just like you did on the wall, spread your fingers really wide and turn your hands out a little bit. Walk your knees back behind your hips. Just like at the wall, lift your belly, push the floor away, tuck your toes, get your hips up, straighten your legs. So I'm making 90 degrees again. This time it's a little more work. So bring your head in line with your arms and push the mat away with your hands. Your arms should be super straight. Bend your knees a little bit, just like we did at the wall. Stick your butt up, arch your back, but watch. Pull your belly back. Keep your belly pulled back. Keep your hips up. Straighten your legs. I know it's a big stretch. Push your heels back and down. They do not have to touch the floor. Breathe. Good. Lower your knees. Rest. How'd it go? We're going to do it again, of course, so I just want you to take a break. So yeah, like as humans, we stand on our feet. We're not used to also putting weight in our hands, so it's going to take some time for that to not feel weird. So just go with it, yeah? Let's come back to hands and knees. Remember, spread your fingers wide, move your knees back. Before you go anywhere, push the floor away. Push it away. Lift your belly. Tuck your toes. Hips up, thighs back. Push the floor away with your hands. Bend your knees. Stick your butt up. Pull your belly back. Straighten your legs. Squeeze your legs. You should have the straightest legs and arms ever. And then look at your hands. Bend your knees as much as you need to and just slowly walk your feet up. You might have to come up to your fingertips. Bend your knees even more. And then put your hands on your hips and come all the way up. Pause. Sorry, I wore the worst shirt ever for this. Well done. Hands to hips. Come back forward, but bend your knees and put your fingertips in front of your toe tips. See how my knees are bent? And then you're just going to stretch your left leg way back. So you're in this little lunge, and you can walk your hands back under your shoulders. Lower your knee. So this is where if you're on hard floor, you'll want a mat or blanket or something to pad your knee. And then just try to stretch your hips. So I try to sink hips toward the floor. And just breathe. So you're getting a big stretch in the front of your left hip for sure. Take another breath. Good. Lift your back knee. Step that foot forward. Knees are still bent. Hands in front of you, fingertips in front of you. This time step your right leg back. Lower your right knee. Drop your hips and just breathe. So that's really what yoga is. It's like we get into the shape and we try to just sit there and breathe. Try not to freak out. Just take some deep breaths and stretch your hip. Last breath. Good. Lift your back knee. Step the right foot forward. One more time with the lunges. Bend your knees, fingertips in front of toe tips. Stretch your left leg back again. This time, keep your back knee lifted, but I want you guys to squeeze your left back leg as strong as you can. Put your hands on your hips and come up. So when I come up, my back leg wants to do this. Don't let it. Squeeze your back leg, stretch your arms up. So this is more power, high lunge. Squeeze your back leg more, I bet you can. Squeeze your butt back there. And then touch the floor. Step your back foot forward. Last side, step your right leg back. Remember, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze your butt. Hands to hips, come up. Re-squeeze your back leg. Inhale, arms up. Good. Touch the floor. This time, step your leg back. Remember, down dog. So spread your fingers wide. Push the mat away. Downward dog. Let's everyone come forward so you're in a plank pose. Do you guys know plank pose?
So your shoulders are over your wrists, so you have to wiggle my feet back. So actually, let's lower the knees for a second. Have your shoulders over your wrists. Push the mat away. Lift your belly. Lift your knees. Squeeze your legs. So that comes in handy. Just breathe. Soften your face. Really lift your belly more. And then lower your knees again. And lower all the way down to your bellies. Once you get down to your belly, point your toes. Straighten your arms alongside you. And on your inhale, lift your straight arms and legs up. A little bit of a locust pose. So we're just trying to strengthen the back muscles and lift. Good. Lower down. Put your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Come up through bent knees. Downward facing dog. So let's stretch our hips a little more. We did that figure 4 on our backs at the very beginning. Now we're going to do pigeon pose. So you're going to take your right knee and pull it behind your wrist. And see how I'm resting it on the floor? And then swing your right foot a little up. So my shin is at an angle. And then you can scoot your left knee back and lower down onto your forearms. This is going to be plenty for most of you. Some of you might lower down even more. That's fine. Either way, we're going to be here for a bit. So just try to soften your shoulders. I like to just kind of make a pillow with the heels of my hands and just try to chill. So again, I've been doing yoga forever, and I still have tight hips. They're better than they used to be, but I can feel a stretch here in my glute hip muscles. So, like, one option would be, screw that, I don't want to feel any stretch, I'm done, yoga sucks. It's fine. I mean, you'll come to me in 10 years when you have, like, hip problems, right? So, we put in the work now, we put in the work to stretch our muscles now, so that hopefully we have less issues down the road. Not to mention how much time we can save and trouble we can save from learning how to just like breathe when things get hard. It's not going to save us. Like, yoga's not going to save us from our lives. I get that. There are real problems at hand. But it definitely gives us tools. It's a tool to deal with hard things. Because if I can breathe and deal with my tight hip, then like maybe I can deal with other hard stuff that comes my way. Maybe. Last few breaths. And being able to just sit with this, it also, I think, really helps with being able to weed out the things that matter and the things that don't. It's like, in the scale of hard things, my tight hip just isn't at the top of the list. Like, there's actual hard things that are going on that I can, like, be upset about and not stand for and try to do something about. And my hip is like, this isn't that big of a deal, right? It's not the end of the world. So I can surely sit here for another breath. Yeah? All right, you guys, come up to your hands. Tuck your back toes and just step back to that down dog again. Now you're professional down doggers. And then put your left knee behind your left wrist. Move your shin, so move your foot up a little, and then scoot your right knee back. We'll do pigeon side 2. So lower down. And then try to just take deep breaths. So inhale deeply through your nose. And exhale fully. And why yoga when we're talking in terms of health? You know, you can go for a run and it's probably going to help you burn more calories than this yoga class. So, depends on your goals, but to me, health is so much more than just like physical. And I would argue that in terms of physical, yoga can actually strengthen muscles depending on what you're doing, and having flexibility is part of that. So I would argue there's definitely benefits to our physical health. But in terms, what else is health? It's our mental health, it's our emotional health, it's our compassion and our kindness, not only to others, but to ourselves. And if we can't be kind and compassionate and learn to just be okay with what we have going on, be happy with ourselves, then how the heck are we going to do that for anybody else? It's really hard. So I think yoga teaches us to be more loving, compassionate, kind to ourselves so that we can do that for other people. It's a start, right? So take a few more moments, a few more breaths. Good news for many of you is we're only going to do one more down dog today. So come up to your hands, tuck your back toes. Last but not least, down dog. Press back, breathe. Awesome. Lower your knees and find a comfortable seat. And once you sit, bring the bottoms of your feet together, open both knees wide. So now your hips are open. And you can interlace your hands around your feet, sit up tall, and then bend your elbows and lean forward any amount. Now, ideally, yoga also helps us with our posture. Most people, this is sort of our posture, and then this is sort of what yoga postures look like. So what I want you guys to do is to prioritize lifting up and being really long, and maybe that means this is the end of the road, because when you start to bend forward, this starts to happen. Fine, stay upright. But if you can, pull and just hinge at your hips, but see how my spine still stays nice and long? I vote that, so that yoga can also help us with our posture, because as we age, it only gets worse. So all my yoga teachers, several of them are in their 50s, they have the best posture I've ever seen. And I think it's not an accident. Try to reach your knees down and take another couple breaths. Good. Inhale, come up. Grab the knees, draw them together. And then if you can, bring your legs underneath you and come sit on your heels. Now, if this is really painful for your knees, just sit cross-legged. You can. I should show it from the side so you can see. So part of that whole posture deal is what else do we spend a lot of time on? I know for me, it's my computer, and this is sort of how I end up by the end of the day. It's or this, right? And so anything we can do to open our chest is going to be good. So interlace your hands behind you. Try to get as close to the webbing as you can. Roll your shoulders back, straighten your arms. And pull your belly back. I'm trying to just look straight ahead. Try not to do weird stuff with your neck. Breathe into your chest. Try to keep your palms together. If you can't, you can't, but try. Good, take 2 more breaths. And then release. Lay back. So we've come full circle. We started on our backs, we're going to end on our backs. Have your knees bent, and see how I'm walking my feet back? I want your heels to be underneath your knees, and have about hip width distance here. Arms by your sides, turn your palms to face the floor. Push your hands and feet down. Inhale, hips up, bridge. Tuck your shoulders under you a little, but keep your palms down. And then push down, lift your hips. You gotta squeeze your butt a little bit. Breathe. And then slowly release, just rest for a couple breaths. We're gonna go back in one more time. Remember your breath. Haven't thought about it lately, maybe not. All right, here we go. Push your hands and feet down, up you go. This time, interlace your hands underneath you and tuck your shoulders. Big chest opener. So watch, my butt wants to drop because that's easier. Push your arms and your feet down. Up you go, hips up, breathe. One more breath. Release your hands, lower your hips, and pause, build up. So make sure you have some room and a little close to the wall for this, and bring your arms out to the side like a T shape, and let your knees fall into your chest. So last final thing, tip your knees over to the left, so we'll just do a twist here. And you can see my left hand can hold the outer right knee. Just take some deep breaths. So we're trying to twist the spine. It's really nice for the low back and a nice way to just end. Breathe slowly, deeply. Last big breath. Stretch your left arm out to the side. Tip your knees up and over to the right. You can hold your outer left knee with your right hand and just take some breaths here. Last breath. And then release, tip your knees up. And hug both knees into your chest. So you just wrap and squeeze. Wrap your arms around. Big breaths here. And then final yoga pose. This is how I end every class I teach. It's called Shavasana. It's a Sanskrit word. Yoga is in the language of Sanskrit. But Shavasana means corpse pose. So literally you get to play dead. So straighten your legs, let your toes flop out. Relax, tuck your shoulders, palms face up, and close your eyes. We'll just be here a very short while, so see if you can hang with me. Eyes closed, and then go back just like we started class. Soften your face, soften your jaw, soften your arms, soften your belly, soften your legs. Really soften everywhere you can. And then tune into your breath. So inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale fully out the nose. And you just continue with that slow inhale and slow exhale. Keep your face soft as you breathe. So just like we have to practice anything, whether it's a yoga pose or math or reading or anything we sort of have to practice in order to get better. We gotta practice resting, which sounds a little silly, but promise you, as a yoga teacher, it's what I see the most. I see 95% of the time, my work is to tell people and teach people how to chill out and how to relax. We're not good at it. And 5% of the time I have to be like, hey, work harder. We're pretty good at that. We're hard on ourselves. And so, really, you just have my permission to lay here for another minute. Or longer if you'd like. And life calls for both. There are times when we need to dig in, work hard, try hard, do the things. And then there's times when we need to just stop and be still and be soft. So the last few moments here, really try to drop in. more big breaths. So for time's sake, I'm going to start to push the eject button here, but if this is, like, you're digging this, awesome. Stay, pause the video, stay here a few more minutes, stay here longer. Awesome. Otherwise, slowly bend your knees. Reach one arm overhead and roll to one side. Really just move slowly, so don't be in a hurry. You're not in a hurry, there's nowhere to be, right? And then take your time to press yourself up. And I vote, just keep your eyes closed still. I'm going to scoot a little closer to the camera. But sit cross-legged, sit comfortably. Rest your hands, sit up tall. And for these last seconds here, just like do a big check-in and notice how you feel. The good news is you don't have to be super flexible, don't have to be super bendy. If you feel even a little bit better, a little bit more open than when you started, then my job is done. Then hell yeah, yoga works. Awesome. Bring your hands together at the center of your heart. So in yoga, you may hear people use the word namaste, and what that means, what we're saying, is that the light in me bows to the light in you, or honors or sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully you feel a little bit better, a little more stretched out. Yoga can change your life if you let it, and I hope that if you feel a little bit better, a little more relaxed, definitely check out our YouTube channel. Free videos. There's 15-minute classes, meditations, all the way up to hour-long classes and meditations. So check that out. Join me for a Zoom class anytime. If you go to our website, onetreeyoga.com, you can see our class schedule. I'd love to see you guys. Either way, thanks for joining.